Hello and welcome to my Thesis Academy. Today, I would like to focus on one of the most important questions for every student who is reaching the final moment of studies. How do I start to write a thesis? Well, is it really the moment where you're sitting over the first famous blank page, trying to put some lines down on the paper and write the first paragraphs? Or are there some details and preparational tasks that you have to consider and to complete before? Let's find it out together. So, as you are seeing, today I would like to talk about the very beginning, or the question of how to start. Then I will focus on the thesis proposal, on the draft or business card of your thesis project. And then, last but not least, I would like to share some tips and some secrets for a good start and how to manage your organization and the importance of a realistic plan and how you create one. First of all, I guess you are probably in the moment of the end of your studies and you finished all the classes and modules and term examinations, and now you are right before the last step to get graduated or post-graduated with a bachelor thesis and a master thesis, or in case of a post-graduation with the Ph.D. thesis. Yes, it's necessary to write a thesis if you want to get graduated or post-graduated. So, maybe you're thinking about all the upcoming tasks that you know that are waiting for you when you write your thesis. So, you have to read a lot of different stuff and consult amount of literature. You have to do the research and the data collection, followed by your analysis and interpretation. You also have to do an evaluation of your findings and results. And last but not least, you have to go through all the writing process and correction, editing, proofreading, until submitting your thesis. But before you start with all these upcoming tasks, there's something left. Here are the preparations. First, you need to draft the conception for your thesis, which is called thesis proposal or exposé. Then you also have to think about the overall organization, the time management and project planning of the following weeks, months, or even years, and create a realistic and feasible time schedule and working plan. Note that a smart planning is key for success. First, I like to focus a little bit on the thesis proposal. It's a kind of draft or conception of your thesis. You can also call it a mini thesis because it explains in a condensed form what you are going to do and how you are going to do. The thesis proposal or exposé has to be submitted before you start to write the real thesis. And this is very nice. You can use it as a base to elaborate the chapters in the section of the final of the thesis document. What does it contain? As I already mentioned, it's a business card, a draft of your project, and a kind of mini thesis. So at least it contains nearly every section that you will find and elaborate in the real thesis. It starts with an introduction and provides information about the context, explains the topic, the aims and objectives, and your focus of research. It addresses the gap of research and provides a brief overview on principal sources and literature. It also explains the intended methodological approach and the forms and ways of analysis that you are planning to do. And this is very important. It reports your personal motivation. Why is this so important? Well, the submission committee will keep an eye on that because they want to find out if you are the right person. And what is a better argument than the personal motivation and your strengths? Last but not least, it also includes a draft of the time and working plan. So, to create your exposé and to start your thesis, you need to figure out 3 essential issues. First, the gap of research to develop your topic, then the structure of the sections, the content, and you have to consider the scope. We are going to talk about that. And you have to know the episodes and the stages of the thesis to develop your time and working schedule. How do you locate the gap of research? Well, I would start to think about an interesting area in your field of research. This is first. Then you have to consult literature, if possible actual literature, to get informed about actual gaps of research in the section of the prospects. And then you can develop your working title and your topic in consideration of these research gaps. Very important is that you know the scope of your thesis. A bachelor thesis has around 50 to 60 pages. The master thesis has scope from 80 to 100 pages. Some universities accept until 120 pages. And the Ph.D. thesis starts with 150 pages and goes up. The scope can vary between the universities, but it's very important to consider it when you develop your research question. You also have to know the inner structure of the thesis. Exposé is very similar. It starts with the index and introduction, then provides a short literature review and theory frame, followed by the methodology. And in your thesis, you will continue with the pure data and analysis, followed by the interpretation and discussion of your findings. This is something that you cannot provide in the exposé because this is a consequence of your research. And the thesis will finish with a conclusion and prospects. Also, very important is that you know the stages and episodes of your thesis writing process. This is also important in the moment when you write your conception, your thesis proposal. Maybe you are in the moment of developing an idea and searching for inspiration, and in the moment of preparation. Then you continue with the proposal writing. And after submission, you start with the literature review and the theoretical part of developing a theoretical frame and methodology. Fourth path is the data collection and the analysis, followed by writing, interpretation, and discussion. And last but not least, there's the stage of post-processing, which is editing, proofreading, and correction. Just let me give some advice on your time schedule. What is important to consider when you create your time and working plan? First, consider that life doesn't consist just of your thesis. So calculate also the other parts of your personal and your professional life to set up a realistic plan. Then put some time buffers, some extra time in case that you need to extend one chapter or make corrections or whatever to feel calm. And also important is that you take notes on all the changes, because maybe the university will demand you some justification in case of transformation. So I hope that you enjoyed the video, that you got some new information and inspiration. If you like the video, then subscribe and give us a like. And if you need more information, then have a look on our blog of My Thesis Academy. And I will be happy to welcome you to the next post.